I'm going to read a poem that recently I read about. It's one that took me 50 years to write, and I want to read it here because Diane is a sister from New York, and this is a poem about New York in a certain sense. I'm very happy, honored that Sohail Dahi with Sword Dove Press got pressed in Delaware by Bill Roberts to publish a hard edition of this book and also a soft edition. And it's an arcane of mine, and I'm going to read this, and I'm just going to read a short other one, okay? This is called the Mali Arcane. The whirling turban of her silver hair that she undid every New Year's Eve for my sister Cynthia and me reached to the floor at our Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. Me 7, Sin 5. And how Grandma Molly would blush as we took grabs of her hair and went over and under each other like making a braid of the Mayday tree she'd slowly spinning turned into. I never saw our babysitter so happy. Certainly not in the pissy staircase and roach-infested 6th-floor tenement flat on Longwood Avenue, where I arrived every Saturday for 7 years to listen to a language I barely understood and watch her, in a schmata of a house dress, reach into the old brown wood shift robe next to the table filled with silver stars, purple hearts, medals and insignias, a Nazi wristwatch, a Japanese machete, war trophies of her sons, a photo of President Roosevelt that she talked to, and yank out a bottle of schnapps by the neck, open it, throw back her head, and take a deep swig, wiping her mouth with the back of her hand and continuing talking to me, digging into drawers to find things with her a brocha zai, O tongue of Veasmeers, her Yiddish grated down into me and licked me with coarse, sweet abrasion like that of a cat's tongue, with her continuous lamenting, kvetching, her Wehrgehagets, Schleppers, Paskudniakes, her litany of curses sounding as if stolen from nature itself, and hardly a word did I understand until years later that she'd raised 9 children, but the one she loved most was the 10th, who'd been born after Grandpa Morris died, and she went to bed with the Puerto Rican butcher on Rivington. And in Shanda, that he had knocked her up, her very own children kidnapped a child at birth from the hospital, took him to a foster home like a deposit bottle, got some cash for him, and called her Kurva and Siticus. Meshugat toit gotten you, Raboyne Shaloilim, may they gain in Dredarein, her children. May their kids be born dwarfs. May they and their wives and their children never find peace. Not a day, not a minute. And may they die suddenly for having sold her baby those months. And she went to the room where there were nests of roaches and a stack of the sepia Forwitz newspapers, showed me the back page, a photo of a young Puerto Rican killed in the Korean War on the ground. And with the back of her hand, she slapped the edge of the paper and said, he was the son her children had kidnapped years and years ago. Oi, Hatzbetig, how mad my Bubba had been driven. And now, today, I've stepped on my own mouth, and it's bitten my toes, and made me stumble and fall into the pit of blue conscience, where I first beheld the radiance of Molly Danemark, before I knew she was my very own grandmother, and felt her lift me up, up, up to her cheek, and felt her fingers scurry along my waist, hearing my scream of laughter as her voice kissed my belly, crying, "Kitzel, kitzel, oi, Shana." I just would like to close this also especially for Diane, for all of us here, because as Diane quite rightly said, and Roberto also, we all are poets. Path. Go to your broken heart. If you think you don't have one, get one. To get one, be sincere. Learn sincerity of intent by letting life enter, because you are helpless really to do otherwise. Even as you try escaping, let it take you and tear you open like a letter sent, like a sentence inside you've waited for all your life, though you've committed nothing. Let it send you up. Let it break you, heart. Brokenheartedness is the beginning of all real reception. The ear of humility hears beyond the gates. See the gates opening. Feel your hands going akimbo on your hips. Your mouth opening like a womb giving birth to your voice for the first time. Go singing, whirling into the glory of being ecstatically simple. Write the poem.